Good morning, it is Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in about 5 minutes. For those of you that are new to these videos, when I say live, what do I mean? Well, I mean that this is not a situation where I've already recorded everything and now I'm coming back and doing a post commentary or some sort of voiceover. Nothing like that. I am recording myself, seeing the information for the very first time. So if you want raw and real emotions, reactions, thought processes, all of that sort of stuff, then you will get that here. If you're looking for a nicely edited video, nicely scripted video, you will not find that here. But if you want just the nitty-gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, then you will find that. I think I'm going to watch Tesla. I say I think because, again, this is live, so I suppose something else could show up from now until the open and catch my attention. But Tesla, a couple of key levels that I'm watching, 860 for a potential breakout perspective, 850 for a potential breakdown perspective. So 860 is the bullish area, 850 is the bearish area, and those are going to be the two couple areas. Actually, let me just bring that over so you can see. And then right here, what you're looking at is, if you're not familiar, I do offer a private community at claytrader.com. So right here, mentioning Tesla, 850 is a flush point being a bearish event. And then right there, upside. So upside being a bullish event. So that's the couple levels there. Then I'm also a couple other areas, PLUG 71 and then LIVE 3150. And, I may add to that as we get closer to the open here. But that's kind of the general thought process right now going in. So I'll go ahead and pause and I'll be back at the open. Well, markets opened up and I actually missed the open, but missing the open was enough for me not to be able to capture that break of 3150 here on LIVE, which you saw me talking about. And now it's in a halt and looking like it'll probably gap up off the halt now at $35. But that one happened so fast where, like I said, literally missed, I don't know, the first 20 seconds of the open. I just had turned away for a second. And sometimes that's all it takes is 20 seconds late. And you could, miss out on something very nicely. But to any members that got that break of 3150, big congratulations to you. Looking like you're going to be starting off the day very, very nicely. But that was not me, but that's okay because the market's literally been open for 1 minute. What's going on here with Boeing here? Boeing, what is that? 205.75. Yeah, so that could be an interesting flush area. See what it wants to. Although Boeing's been just so sketchy lately. I want to trust Boeing that I can still make good, smooth moves, but at the same time, it just really hasn't illustrated to me what I would like to see from it. Tesla doing here? Yeah. Well, there's 860. Can it break up through 860? That's the question. Already got up there and a slight little break above it before getting rejected back down. But we'll see if it can try it again. Want to see confirmation, though, of the 860 break. And in fact, I'm not going to take it on this candle. I want to see this candle. Hopefully this candle stays below it. Yep, looking like that candle will indeed stay below it. But 860, just a crazy, crazy stubborn level going back to the previous day. Well, that candle did close below it. So we'll see if this 860 break can eventually happen or not. Oh, and looking like as of now, it's just going to pull back. So 860 once again holds strong. All right, I will go ahead and pause. So what I'm wondering about right now is 860 just going to win out again? The price just got back up here, once again rejected the price. So is it going to win out again? And in this pullback, is that going to serve as kind of just a demoralizing event to the longs that just say, you know what, I'm done with it? So meaning if it can break down through 855, Is that going to be some sort of break point that could then cause all of a sudden a bearish event, which could be profitable to the downside? That's what I'm wondering. Because right now there's still hope. The longs still have hope. Okay, 860 could still break. It could still break. But if it comes back down to 855 and then breaks down below there, I think in my mind that could be a very, like I said, demoralizing event. To be fair, maybe 860 finally is officially broken. But right now you can see, again, it's sitting right at that level. I no longer trust it. It's just gone up there and failed too many times. And this very well could be the time where it goes. But like I said, I just don't feel confident in that. And you can see once again starting to pull back. So again, that event, that right there, there had to have been a bunch of longs there that were sitting there excited, hopeful, rightfully so, because yeah, and it still may go. But if this comes back down to the 855 mark, you know, if I was forced to choose one word, I would say demoralized. So that's really my main kind of trade plan out there right now is let's see if that 855 mark can come back into play. But wow, 860, what a stubborn level. You got to think that when it's broken, it's going to go and go quickly. And more so 860, probably 50, because it's broken. It's poked its head up above 860, but never above 860.50. So I will go ahead and pause for now, but that's definitely kind of my thinking in regards to what's going on around the market right now. So we'll see what happens in regards to, you know, kind of this general idea that I'm looking at here. Well, price is kind of coming back down there. Yep. So here, think about it. How are the longs thinking now? Now all of a sudden the price is pulling back again. But I will go ahead and pause. I now think of 860. There we go. In at 855.50. Let's see if we can get some more follow through to the downside here. But at this point, I think the bulls are pretty demoralized. So I think there's going to be some movement to the downside here. The true breakdown point is going to be 854.75. If that can fall, then this should really get going. So a little bit of a bounce right here. It's Tesla. It's an $800 stock, so clearly a very jumpy stock. So if this thing comes back to that 855.50 mark, I mean, you got to think that's going to make this chart look even better, as that would imply this bounce right here has failed. So let's see if it can get back below 856. There we go. Is this now going to be the push downwards? Failed bounce. There we go. See if we can get some more push. Took some off the table. See if we can get down below 854 again. Come on, push. See if we can get more. Would love to see it down below 853. I think that's a possibility. There we go. Took out 25 there. Fantastic. Can we get down below 851? And all out there for $371. crazy overextended move here. But that is exactly, I guess, let me take a step back. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but in my mind, that's what played out there. You had a situation where the longs, they got excited. Okay, pulled back. Okay, bummer. All right, good. Going up there again. Oh, rejected. Tried again. Rejected. Tried again. You can't see it, but look at all these tried again. Each one of these times where the price tried to get up through that level, that is longs getting excited. Oh, wow, look at it go. Yeah, I mean, I thought this thing would pull back, but did I think, that massive candle would form right there? I did not think that. But regardless, each of those right here, think about what that represented. Excitement, disappointment, excitement, disappointment, excitement, disappointment. And then what does this represent? Then the price came all the way down here. Not only is that disappointment, but it's a much worse disappointment because at least when the price was still up around here, it was okay. That it's disappointing the price didn't break through it, but at least it's still close. At least it's got a chance to still break through it, which is all very true. Wow, look at it go now. Anybody got a time machine? That would be fantastic. But so going back here, but then when the price starts to pull back, now all of a sudden it's just flat out disappointment because you can't sit there and say, well, yeah, I'm disappointed it didn't break, but at least it's still close. No, now not only is it not close, but now what else is it doing? It's also dropping further and further away. And that's where, in my mind, it just made sense for the story where, I mean, nothing is guaranteed, but for, the price to have, potentially, come back down and really, I didn't realize how close I was, but I wanted my stop loss was above VWAP with cushion, so above the 858-ish range. So I suppose I kind of lost track of that. I never realized it was that close to potentially stopping me out. How high did it get? Yeah, 857.92. So all right, well, I guess my little miniature lesson there is I should have paid a little bit closer attention. I should have been a little bit more ready. But yeah, was risking right around the couple of dollars there, and then got a good size amount in my favor. In hindsight, yeah, I should have held that 25 shares a bit longer there, as that was quite the move to the downside. But like I said, I had no idea that sort of move was going to happen, and I'm not going to sit here and play like, oh, see, yep, I knew it was going to collapse. No, I did not know that, but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, sure, I suppose. Now, granted, we can all always make ourselves look like terrible traders and be our worst critic with hindsight. But that's why they call it hindsight. And, hindsight's 2020. But overall, I'm very pleased with that. And that's personally how I trade, right? I just make stories. In my mind, how are the bulls feeling? How are the bears feeling? How would I be feeling in that situation? How would other people be feeling? And you take those emotions and in a kind of a cruel way, you take those emotions and then you kind of twist them and say, okay, well, how can I make money based on how other people are feeling? And in that situation, I bet those longs are going to be very, very disappointed at that point. Therefore, I'm going to make money from their disappointment. I guess call me a savage, but that's just how the markets work. Same as the longs. The longs can sit there and be like, you know what? I bet the shorts are going to be very disappointed. I bet the shorts would feel pain at that point in time. So you know what? What can I do to make money from that pain? So, I mean, it does work both ways. But overall, I'm not going to complain. I was done with that trade at 9, looking at my screen there, 9:43. So, I mean, 13 minutes, $370. I'm not a greedy savage. I don't know where in the world you can make $370 in 13 minutes, pressing buttons, working at home as I sit here in my robe. And I'm going to go ahead and call it good. If you're not familiar, just to kind of explain my philosophy, my approach is I like to do the be done in 30 approach, meaning I do trading and day trading as a side hustle because not I want Rolex watches or a yacht or, bottles of Cristal or whatever the fancy drinks are out there. Now, if that is your goal, if that's why you want to do day trading, whether it's the full-time job or a side hustle or whatever, that's cool. Like I want you to get whatever your motivation is. If your motivation is Rolex watches, cool, go for it. For me, it's just freedom of time. As a father of 4 young kids, I want to be able to spend time with them. I want to be able to free up my time to just pursue other things. So I'm always looking to be done by 30 minutes on average. Sometimes I'll go over 30 minutes, but here in this case, I was done well under average at only 13 minutes and making $370. So I'm going to go on and enjoy the rest of my day. And, that is something that, like I said, for me, I do it for freedom of time. But if you want to do it for, the Rolex watches, then, I mean, that's totally cool. I want you to do and go for, whatever you think is best. And also just let me bring that up just because I always get, Clay, so how does your chat room work? Well, here's just another example of that. Tesla 855 flush point. So members had the exact same opportunity that I did. I got a little bit more aggressive with it. I got in before the 855, but regardless of how members played it, if they waited for 855 to be broken, I mean, that thing went from, we'll just take it at 855 all the way down to 8. So that was a 9-point move in basically 2 minutes. So members, again, congratulations. How did live ever go? Let's go check on that real quick. Because remember that was a pretty, so it halted and then went up as high as 34. So from 31.50 up to 34. Well, I mean, still plenty of wiggle room to make a profit, but yeah, that was quite the savage move there on the gap down, or on the halt, I should say, excuse me. And then it just halted the downside, gap down, and then kept on going. So, yeah, still a profitable trade, but not nearly as much as what it was looking like it could have been. But regardless, for members, congratulations if you played live on the long side. Congratulations if you played Tesla on the short side. Definitely some good profitable trades. And then finally, before I go, a couple quick things. First off, if you want to, want me to make more of these videos, then a couple quick requests, because these videos are not easy to make as I stumble over my words saying it. But because they are live, I have to think for myself. I have to think about what I want to do. I have to think about what the chart and everything is telling me. I have to think about what I'm actually going to say to you as a viewer. I have to think about what I'm going to alert to the chat room. I have to actually type things to the chat room. In other words, and then I have to enter my orders. I have to manage the trade. And I'm doing all that all at once live. Again, not easy at all, but totally possible. However, I do need to make sure that this is actually worth my time to be doing, and I need to continue to make sure it's worth my time. So a very quick, easy way for you to communicate to me that, Clay, yeah, this is worth your time. Please keep doing it. Hit that like button, leave a comment. It could be a simple comment such as a smiley face emoji, a emoji with, the cool sunglasses on. It could be a unicorn emoji. I don't care, but hitting the like button and emoji, that is a very time-efficient way to communicate. Hey, Clay, yeah, this is worth your time. Please keep doing these videos. And then also just check out the channel as a whole. There's a good variety of, content out there in different videos. But if you do want to get those alerts that I just showed, and if you're wanting to, join the community, then all you got to do is go to claytrader.com/team. And the way it works is we'll just use the $99. Now, that's not $99 per month. It's $99 for 3 months, which breaks down to $8.25 per week. So the question really just becomes, all right, if I invest the $99 to join, do I believe I can get at least $8.25 per week of value? If you think you can get at least $8.25 per week, then you will definitely get a great return on your investment. So that's really the way to approach that. So just hopefully you decide to join up and trade alongside me, other traders. And it's certainly a very solid community, especially when you factor in that it's $8.25 per week. But again, thank you for watching. If you enjoy these videos, and like I said, and want me to keep making them, hit that like button, leave a small little comment below, and then hopefully you decide to subscribe to the channel. Everybody take care. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.